Let's pull back the curtain on the real estate world. You ever wonder how agents get paid and what most won't tell you? In this video, I'm going to break down everything that you need to know that might affect you as a buyer or seller when it comes to how agents get paid. All right, guys, today I'm going to break it down for you how agents get paid. Where's this money go? Who gets what? Who's paying what? All the good stuff as far as an agent's commission compensation is paid. Not only that, but how it's going to affect you as a buyer or seller in the transaction process. So let's just jump right into it and we will unveil how a real estate agent gets paid. Okay, so first off, agents, we do not get a salary. We do not get paid if we do not close transactions. This means that I could go weeks or months of doing work and not get paid a dime until we hit that closing table. You sign the paperwork to either buy or sell that home. And then at that point, I will get paid, which also means if your deal falls through after I've been working for weeks or maybe a month or however long, and you don't buy the house or sell the home, then guess what? Yours truly does not get paid. And I don't really like not getting paid for my work. Keep that in mind. We don't get paid if we don't close a deal, which I don't expect you to close a deal if there's something wrong with the home or if there's a problem in the transaction or anything like that. I'm just letting you know this is exactly how agents get paid. So if it doesn't close, we don't get paid. Now, I think another misconception on the compensation whenever an agent goes to list a home and negotiate this amount with a seller is that the agent themselves are going to get the total amount of compensation that you agree on. And that is not true. That compensation is actually going to get split a couple of different ways. Now, the first way is going to be 99% of the time that compensation is going to get split with whoever brings a buyer. So if you're working the seller side, you've negotiated the compensation with them, then typically what's going to happen is that agent is going to share that commission with the buyer's agent. Now, they don't have to. It's not a rule that's written in stone that they have to split that. It's really just depends on what the listing agent and the seller come to an agreement on whenever they negotiate the compensation up front when they do the listing. Whatever that amount is, that's the amount that goes to the buyer's agent. Now, some agents have to split that commission with either a team leader or their brokerage or both. So they could have to give a percentage to their team leader and then another percentage to their broker until they hit a cap, which is the amount of money that they no longer have to pay the money to the broker. As you can see, it's not that agents are making an absolute killing off of one deal. It is a multitude of deals that are going to allow an agent to be successful and make the money that they would like to make, but it is not just going to come from one deal because, again, that money gets split out and distributed over numerous people, so they are not getting that total amount of compensation that is agreed upon with the seller. So let's just say on like a $300,000 home, after everything is said and done, then an agent could potentially walk away with only $2,500 to $4,000 for that transaction. So it's not as much as a lot of people have been led to think or do think that we make. So on top of all of that stuff, we also pay for all of the expenses that comes along with a listing or working with buyers or anything like that. So let's just say that you hire me as your listing agent. I'm going to do professional photography, videography, drone footage, video walkthroughs, open houses, agent opens, all kinds of stuff. We're going to run ads on that home. We're going to boost it out on social media. We're going to do everything we can to get your home in front of as many people as possible, get it sold as quickly as possible for top dollar. This is all stuff that we pay for out of that compensation, and I don't have a problem doing that. I like to get back to my clients. So if I can do that in the way of getting professional photography or doing drone footage or anything like that, then I don't mind doing that. Now, there are a lot of expenses behind the scenes that nobody really, I don't think, thinks about, such as signs and lot boxes and marketing materials, shirts and hats, and all that kind of stuff that we do for our businesses. So there is a lot of money that goes into what we do. So I think a lot of people are like, wow, they make a lot of money, when in reality, it's, yeah, do we make decent money? Yes, but it's not as much as people think. If a home is marketed properly, you're going to spend probably hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to actually market that home properly. So realistically, when we take that out of the compensation that we get for doing it, it's just that much less that we're actually making to put into our pocket than what we typically would. Just know we're not out here like living lifestyles of the rich and famous off of one listing because we charge 6% on the compensation. It's going all different kind of directions, and it's getting split up. All kinds of things are happening behind the scenes that you're not going to see, and that the average person really isn't going to know about, which is why I'm making this video, so everybody will know exactly how that money is split up. So the best agents are going to earn based on strategy, not on selling you. So I'm not going to be selling you anything. I'm going to be trying to guide you through the process of buying or selling a home. That means I'm going to guide you on pricing strategy, negotiation, repairs, any kind of thing that's going to come your way throughout the transaction. I'm going to be there to guide you and walk you through it every step of the way, give you my recommendations, make sure that your interests are taken care of, and then we will walk through that together, and with me making sure that you're taken care of. At the end of the day, we get paid to protect you, to make sure that your transaction goes as smoothly as possible with no hiccups, no problems, and that we deliver results each and every time that we serve our clients. Now, when it comes down to the commissions, like I said in the beginning, this is negotiable. This is something that a listing agent would negotiate with a seller upfront whenever they are taking the listing. Now, I will sometimes negotiate my commission, but there are also going to be things that I will not do for that listing that I typically do for other listings that do pay the full compensation, like professional photography, drone footage, videography, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to cut the rate, that's fine, but you're also going to cut the services that you would be provided if you were to pay that full compensation. In my opinion, is it worth it to pay whatever the compensation is that the agent is asking? Yes, because you get what you pay for, and the service that you're going to receive is going to be so much better than a cut rate service with you trying to reduce the commission, them just doing enough to get by and not really going above and beyond for you to get your home sold for top dollar and do all those extra things that we like to do for our clients. So just keep that in mind. You're going to get what you pay for. So if you want a cut rate service, then you go and find a cut rate agent and you pay them a cut rate. It's as simple as that. It doesn't get any more simple when it comes to hiring a real estate agent. So cheaper doesn't always mean smarter. It could mean less services, less exposure, less profit. There's a lot of things that come along with the compensation because of what the agent is going to do for you to get that home sold and for top dollar in the least amount of time. So when you're considering cutting somebody's commission, just know that if you want cut rate service, you cut their commission. If you want the full service, you want that white glove service, then you go ahead, give them the commission that they're asking for, let them run with it, do their job, and market your home better than anybody ever would. Just want to try to give some transparency here between you guys and what the agents are actually doing with these dollars and the compensation that we get. Now, I will say there are a lot of agents out there that are chasing compensation, which means you'll kind of notice they're pressuring you into buying something, or they're trying to sell you on something that you're really not interested in. So be on the lookout for this. You want to make sure that you're not feeling pressured in any kind of way just for an agent to make a commission. If you start to see this, it's my suggestion that you just back off from that agent, find you another agent that's going to put your needs in front of their own, and they aren't desperate for that commission or really hurting for money to where they're going to pressure you into doing something that you might not want to do at that particular time, or might not be what's in your best interest. So be on the lookout for that. It does happen. Unfortunately, I hate it, but it does happen. On the flip side of that, a great agent is going to play the long game. They're going to make sure you're taken care of. They're going to show you as many homes as you need to be shown. They're going to make sure that whatever home that you find, if you're a buyer, you absolutely love it and you want to move forward with it. If you're a seller, then it's the same boat. We're going to do any and everything we can for you to make sure that you are getting what you need out of that home. And another thing, you're not just paying for time. You're paying for expertise, for the experience of that agent. So if you have an inexperienced agent, then then what are you really paying for other than their time? Anyone can list a house. Anybody can fill out the form on the MLS or fill out the listing agreement, get it signed, take some pictures and put it on the MLS. That's not what it's about. Anybody can do that. It's about everything that happens after that fact. The photography, videography, the drone footage, the walkthrough, the agent opens, the open houses, any and everything that we can do, blasting it out on our social media, running ads, any and everything that we can do to market your home is what's going to happen whenever you use us. So don't make a mistake. If you're in Georgia, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. And here at Living in Middle Georgia, strategy, marketing, and negotiation are all strong skills that we have. We like to say that we are just a marketing company that just so happens to sell real estate, and that is what we are. We love making content. We love doing the video walkthroughs. We love doing home tours, city tours, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you're not going the cheap route. The cheap route is not always better. That's all I'm going to say. We'll leave it at that, but the cheaper is not always better. My job is not to be the cheapest. It's to provide you the best service that I possibly can and get your home sold as quickly as possible or find you that perfect home that you're wanting to move into. So if you're buying or selling a home in Middle Georgia, we would love to have a real conversation with you about how this works. Give me a call at 478-888-7808 and we'll show you exactly what full service looks like and how it pays off at the closing table.